Okay, so this is part two of the intro into Canvas. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you in and I'm going to show you how the modules work. And so again, we'll click into the course. And this time we're going to go directly to the module page. So you'll click on modules. And in there, you'll see a lot of information. The first thing you'll see is a bunch of stuff on textbook information. This gives you information on basically on how to go about either purchasing the textbook, what the textbook's all about, is all laid out in here. You can certainly buy it directly in the bookstore as well for a very reasonable price. So you have multiple ways to do it. You can also buy the ebook. You can rent the book, but you will need the 7th edition. So make sure you have the correct edition as you prepare for this. Also, you'll have in here, again, I talk a little bit about the textbook and there's just some information, just general information about it. So feel free to peruse that so you kind of gain an understanding about the book. If you have any issues with downloading it or uploading it, like for the ebook, for example, if you want to get the ebook, you can simply go through here, set up a link for yourself through Vital Source, which is an outside web source to be able to access the ebook. Now, from there, the heart and soul of the modules starts with week 1. And you can see here, as I told you, because week 1 is, of course, the first week of the year. I tend to be a little easygoing, getting people started. So, what I'd like you to do really is just to click into the welcome page. And in the welcome page, it just talks about just why we study political science, some of the information, learning objectives for the course. And what you can do when you get through here is basically just keep clicking the next button. And the next button will take you through each aspect of the first module. So as you can see here, it talks a bio about me and a little bit about my background. And I do a lot of stuff with television news in San Diego. So just to give you a little, more personal, taste of me and what I do and stuff like that outside of just teaching. I have been doing news for a long time in San Diego, so it's just kind of another thing that I do. So feel free to look at that if you want. And then you can continue to click next. And each one will take you to a little bit more information. So here's my email address, richard.epps@imperial.edu. So if you need to reach me outside of the going through Canvas, you can always email me directly that way. Also some information regarding how to contact me outside of times. My phone number's here that's listed. Please call it if only when necessary. I don't mind you calling it if there's an emergency. So don't hesitate if you need to for some reason, okay? And I'll try to help you as much as I can. Okay. So again, at each one of those things you click on, the next button takes you down to each one of these things. One of the most important things in here, again, is the syllabus. The syllabus, of course, is your roadmap for the course. This is a really important aspect. So you definitely want to spend time reviewing it. Again, my office phone number is here, which I will not be at during the winter session. So you don't leave a message there. Email me or call my personal line. Here's the course description, the objectives for the course. Some of the instructional information is all laid out here. Your technology requirements. Of course, I expect you to be Canvas and computer literate because it's really important to be able to do this effectively that you kind of know what you need to know. The weekly assignments are laid out here. The graded assignments are laid out here. It shows you the point totals for the number of quizzes, the one writing assignment, and the various discussion posts that you'll be doing, total to 610 points. You can see here the way it's broken down. So from 540 to 610 is the A range, from 475 to 539 is the B range approximately, and so forth. So, as I said before, we don't have a plus or minus system. So whatever you happen to land, if I see you're doing well or working hard or doing better, I always grade up to the next level if you're doing really well. And so please do put your good effort in. I try to make it balanced so it's not too hectic, but it's a 5-week course, so it's not always going to be easy. Here's some information on the discussion post, how to do them and kind of what to look for when you're going to do that. A little brief information about the writing assignments laid out in here, about the quizzes is also laid out. And then a lot of general information. So make sure you go through and read it carefully. And at the very end, it goes through and it talks about basically the roadmap for every week. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. And it follows pretty much in line with the modules. So the modules give you sort of the same general roadmap. Okay. Okay, so I'm going back into the module again. You can download that, by the way. You can download the syllabus and make a hard copy for yourself, but you will be held accountable to it, so make sure you read it. The course roadmap is laid out here again, which is just a schedule that tells you what's going on from week to week. So that helps you along that way if you need to. Let's see. There's also the academic year calendar. I'm not going to click on all these things. And there's also what's really important is a student study site. The publisher has set up for us a study site that allows you to be able to go in and access the information. They have practice quizzes. They have a variety of different topics that you can review. They have key terms that you can review, like IDs. They help you get ready for the exams, the quizzes rather, and so they're free to you. So do take advantage of them. So if you click on there, for example, it links out to the site. And when you go into the student resources, you can see here they have quizzes, e-flashcards, video, multimedia stuff, various study questions for every single chapter in the textbook. So it's a really handy tool for you as students to be able to utilize. And it comes along with the book. So what you'll do is set up your login, and then you'll just be able to go in and access it as you need it. Okay. Also, in here, if we go back to the modules, you'll see that there are a variety, again, of orientation to-do list things, just things you need to do to get ready for the class. So I do want you to go through, and I'm not going to go through each one of these, but it's just to help you get through the process. So the first week, I want you to go through this first weekend, a bit of information, and then there's a couple of some points you get to earn the first week. There's a discussion on getting to know each other. And all you'll do here is you'll just simply click into the quiz and you'll just answer some basic questions. Also, there's an orientation quiz. This one's worth 10 points. This one's also worth 10 points. Very simple, but a way to give you some easy points to get started. And then I have you do only one chapter the first week. And yeah, we have to get started. So I just made it really simple. So chapter 1, which is the intro chapter, is here. Every week you'll see it broken down where you'll have an intro and overview of the chapter, and I'll click into these quickly. And it tells you, I talk a little bit about each chapter, what each chapter is, and it give you a little to-do list of what you need to focus on, just to kind of give you a little bit of a roadmap. And then from there, again, this is in the week 1 module. Then you'll go on to lay out your learning objectives for the chapter 1. And from there, you'll go into the ebook if you need to read the ebook, or if you have the live book, then that's fine as well. You'll also have access to the PowerPoints. There'll be, I don't know why it's not loading right now, but I will get that corrected, so you'll have access directly to them right here. And you can download them as well, so I'll make sure they're available for you, okay? And I'm glad I caught that. And also you'll have there's a variety for every week. I try to associate some important video clips that you should be watching. They're usually relatively short, but to help you understand and connect the dots between the book and the videos or multimedia things that you're looking at. This one's particularly really good and very poignant, so I think you'll find it to be interesting. Most of the things here are very engaging and very enlightening, so do take some time to look at them when you get a chance. Okay. And that's for every single chapter. You'll see a series of videos that you can go to and access. Then also, as I said, you have access to flashcards. Again, these are to help you prepare for the exams. This is chapter 1 flashcards. And again, you just simply gives you it'll give you the term, and then you can flip it over and basically be able to prepare for the exams this way. You can either start off with the term, or you can start off with the answer and then try and figure out what the definition is. Okay. All right. Now, going back to the module, you'll see, so we basically have kind of walked through most of week 1. We went to the PowerPoint, to the video, multimedia, the flashcards, and then you'll get into your discussion. And this is where the first one starts. And this is where it gets interesting because basically I'll give you a prompt, something to think about that I want you to answer. And then what I'll have you do is basically go through the process of writing your comments about this. And you'll do this for several different posts, only one the first week, but you'll see it gets busier as we go. So the first one I ask, have you voted? Why or why not? Do you think that your vote matters? If not, would you have to have, or I should say, if not, what would have to happen to change this perception? So that's something that for you to be able to think about, and then you write your view of it, and you can see basically below what the information I sort of expect from you, and for forming a nice paragraph to form your answer. Okay. All right. Let me continue here. And when we go past the discussion, the next thing you'll be doing will be your quiz. And every week, well, actually, we'll have several in a week, but the first week you only have one, and it's a chapter 1 quiz. And what happens is you'll go in here, there are 25 questions, you'll have your book with you. I always suggest you read before you answer so you don't get yourself in trouble because it'll blow up in your face if you try to do the quizzes without it. You have 40 minutes to answer 25 multiple choice questions. And all you'll do simply is, this will give you a preview, for example. I'll give you a preview of what it looks like. So basically you'll go in and, like the first one is this. You'll just simply bubble in the answer, go all the way, answer all the ones that are there, get to the bottom, and then you'll click on Submit Quiz, and it'll grade it for you, tell you how you did, and then you'll be good to go. And that'll happen for all 14 chapters. The first week, you only have one of these to do, but there will be some weeks where you'll have 3 or sometimes as many as 4 to do. So be aware of that as you get prepared for them. But again, you'll have your book with you, so that's a good thing. Also, going back to, again, week 1 is a reflection of all the other ones. So at the end of the week, I kind of, again, leave you with a little bit of just, hey, you made it through the first week. Now let's get on to the next thing. So this was basically the format for every single week of the module. So if you scroll down and look through it, that week 1 looks busy and long because it is. But after we get through week 1 and we get into week 2, you can see week 2 that chapters, we're in chapter 2. You can see chapter 3 on federalism, chapter 4 on fundamental American liberties. Those are all part of the week 2. And you can see the various things that are assigned throughout the week. And then we get to week 3, and week 3 again is set up the same way. Chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. So chapter 5, 6, and 7 are part of week 3. Then week 4 is chapters 8, 9, 10, and 11. And then you'll also be turning in your short writing assignment by the end of that week on January 27th. You'll note, and do please note, that all the due dates for information on these items are all laid out for you. So usually they open and close on a particular day. Usually Sunday is a day. They usually open on Sunday and they close on Sunday, except for the last week of the class. Because the class ends on February 2nd officially, the last few chapters, 12, 13, and 14, will be due on February 1st. So you'll have to finish those up. And the discussions here I have still laid out at February 2nd. I'm going to probably change those dates to February 1st as well, just to make sure there's no confusion. So you'll have a shorter week for the last week to get things done. Then the last thing you'll do at the end of the term, you'll basically do the course evaluation, which is just basically assessing, how you felt about the course and, what you got out of it and things like that. And then you'll be done. So it's a quick race to the end. I'm sorry it took a little longer than I expected to go through this, but it's important. And if you have any questions, just email me and I'll be glad to help along the way. And if I have any information or any announcements, I will post them up here for you. And let's have a great quarter, a great short session in this winter semester. Okay. All right, you guys have a great one.